So I'm certainly not the first one to say it, and there have been a lot of people that have said it way better, but I believe that kids should be involved in every possible sport or physical activity they can get their hands on. As life and schedules allow, parents should get their kids involved in anything they show even a passing interest in, even just to let them go try it. It doesn't always have to be an organized sport. And what's cool from the coaching side of things now is that I'm starting to see more and more parents that are interested in getting their kids involved in, I guess what you'd call non-standard sports. When I say non-standard, I mean outside of football, basketball, baseball, and soccer. So we're starting to see more and more kids that are interested in things like swimming, that are interested in gymnastics. My kids do gymnastics in addition to all the sports that they do because I think it's just such a great athletic foundation. Body awareness, physical strength, agility, flexibility, you name it. But we're seeing kids get involved in track and field more, and I think people are seeing more of the benefits of a broader range of sports. Take, for example, one of the kids that I just started working with. He's a 7th grader who's played football, he's playing lacrosse, he's also playing soccer, but he's shown an interest in throwing the shot put. There's a lot of factors involved in that. Does he have the gift for it? Does he have the interest in it? Is there going to be enough support in the schools, the state where he is? All those sort of things. But the cool thing is that he's trying it. He's getting out and doing something with his body that a lot of kids historically have not done. And what I've noticed from coaching, and a lot of great coaches that I've talked to have noticed that kids that play those non-standard sports, that do those things that are outside the normal ball sport realm, they tend to have a different physical perspective, if that makes any sense. Let's say this 7th grader that I'm working with goes on to be a football player. Let's say he goes on to college. He may have a different physical perspective on how to play the game because he's used his body in so many different ways. He's used his body to generate force or to change positions or to build mobility in different ways than somebody that's just played football or baseball, just a couple of sports all the way through. I found that if you just take that kid and you get them learning how to turn that right foot a little bit, learn to get their hips toward the throwing sector, all of a sudden the whole world opens up to them. They start to see that, this is different than just standing and pushing or standing and throwing. They understand that this is an explosive movement, that there is a whipping action, that you explain the idea of separation, and it doesn't make sense at first. But when they first time they feel that separation, and I bet if you're a thrower, you remember the first time you really felt separation and just felt wrong. But the first time they feel it and they learn to harness that, that's such a cool thing to watch.
And I learned to fire, cooled and turned into dirt, and the gods smiled upon them for whatever that's worth, 'cause life sprang up instantly on the island of fire. The hotel utopian, rebuilt and retired, and Camilla and her girls live there
If you recall, a couple of weeks back, I talked about having a meeting with the head coach at the CrossFit box about integrating some thrower style training into our upcoming month. Well, February just started, and so we have started integrating some of those things, and we're teaching new skills. And you can see here, one of the skills I integrated was the overhead back toss with a med ball. And if you were also paying attention earlier, you saw that I had my 7th grader doing that as well. And I feel like that's a very pure movement to show somebody the hip extension and how that extends into generating power into an implement. You know, it's no secret, you know, there's a triple extension in there, and the arms are in a different position, you're holding something different, but we're using, you know, the extension of the hips, the violent extension of the hips to create force. We also added in what I consider a fun throwing game, which uses some of the same principles of hip extension, but also body control and agility, where we do a vertical toss and we toss it back and forth between partners. And that was a lot of fun. And like I said before, throwing is just fun. And if you can find a way to work throwing into workouts, into any kind of training you're doing, you're going to enjoy yourself immediately. And you know, you add a social component to that, you add a workout partner, it just gets better and better.
I gave my word to you, my